Hello Muslim friends of the world. In a small town in the Midwest of America, there was a quiet convent named St. Mary's Convent. Residing there was Sister Anna, a nun renowned for her piety. Her life was entirely dedicated to serving God, helping orphans, and teaching at the local convent school. However, behind her gentle smile and sincere prayers, Sister Anna harbored a dark secret, a deep hatred for Islam. This hatred stemmed from her past. When she was young, her father, an American soldier, was killed in a suicide bombing in the Middle East. Her family was shattered, and 10-year-old Anna understood only one thing from the incident: the perpetrator of the attack was a Muslim. From that moment, she decided that Islam was a violent religion that had destroyed her family. Years passed, and Anna found peace in the church. However, every time she heard about Islam in the news or saw women wearing hijabs in her town, her hatred resurfaced. She secretly prayed for the enemies of God to either repent or be destroyed. The small town was abuzz with talk of a major event to be held at St. Mary's Convent, an open debate between Sister Anna and a Muslim man named Muhammad Hassan, a preacher known for his wisdom and calm demeanor. The church congregation was eager. Many were confident that Sister Anna, with her intelligence, would be able to defend the Christian faith brilliantly. Yet in her heart, Anna felt uneasy. It was not fear but a sense of doubt that had begun to emerge after meeting Fatima and Amina. Although her hatred for Islam had softened, she still harbored skepticism about the religion. To her, this debate was a chance to prove that her faith was the true one. The day of the debate arrived. The church hall was packed. On one side, church members supported Sister Anna. On the other, some members of the local Muslim community came to support Muhammad Hassan. After an opening prayer, the moderator explained that the theme of the debate was, "Does any religion bring true peace?" Sister Anna began passionately, quoting Bible verses about love, Jesus' sacrifice, and how the Christian faith had transformed her life. She asserted that Christianity was the path to true salvation, while other religions, including Islam, were full of contradictions. When it was his turn, Muhammad Hassan responded calmly. He began by offering a greeting of peace, then quoted a verse from the Koran. "Whoever kills a person unjustly, it is as though he has killed all mankind. And whoever saves one, it is as though he has saved all mankind." Quran Surah Al-Ma'idah 32. He explained that Islam is a religion that teaches peace but is often misunderstood due to the actions of a few individuals. In a gentle tone, he said, "We are all creations of God. We share a common faith, love for God and love for fellow human beings." Sister Anna, feeling cornered, attempted to counter by bringing up historical violence perpetrated by Muslims. But Muhammad Hassan patiently replied, "No religion practiced by humans is without blemishes in its history. Even in Christian history, there were the Crusades. But does that reflect the teachings of Jesus? No. Similarly, violence committed in the name of Islam does not reflect the teachings of Prophet Muhammad." As the debate progressed, Muhammad Hassan provided wise and empathetic answers. When Sister Anna cited Quranic verses she believed supported violence, Muhammad Hassan carefully explained the historical and social contexts behind those verses. The most surprising moment came when a church member asked, "Why does God allow differences in religion if only one is true?" Muhammad Hassan smiled and answered, "Because God tests us through diversity. In the Quran, it is stated, for every community, we have appointed a law and a way of life. Had God willed, He would have made you one community of believers, but He intended to test you through what He has given you. So compete with one another in doing good. Quran Surah Al-Ma'idah 48. That answer caused many to reflect. Some church members even began nodding, as if in agreement. When the debate concluded, the moderator allowed both sides to give closing remarks. Sister Anna honestly said, "Today, I may not have won this debate. But I have learned much from Mr. Muhammad's answers. I believe our differences are an opportunity to understand one another, not to hate." Muhammad Hassan smiled and added, "We are not here to win or lose. We are here to bring our hearts closer to God and to one another." After the event, many church members approached Muhammad Hassan, praising his wisdom. Some even expressed interest in learning more about Islam. After the debate, Sister Anna felt humiliated. The shame and sense of defeat were deep, and her heart was filled with the anger that resurfaced. She felt that Islam, with all its rational and compassionate defenses, had confused many people. The church members who had once supported her were now beginning to question her views. Some of them even started speaking with Muhammad Hassan, discussing the peace that Islam taught. Sister Anna felt cornered and desperate. In her heart, she believed that the only way to restore the congregation's faith was to show how misguided the teachings of Islam were. She planned something drastic and emotional, tearing up the Koran in front of her congregation. One afternoon, while the congregation gathered in the church, Sister Anna stood with the Koran she had borrowed from Muhammad Hassan. Her face was tense, and her hands gripped the holy book tightly. In front of the congregation, she intended to tear the Quran apart and show that the teachings of Islam were not worthy of respect. She wanted to reaffirm that Christianity was the one true path. But before she could take further action, a young man from the congregation, named Michael, quickly stood and blocked her way. His face was firm, but his eyes were full of compassion. "Sister Anna, please don't do this," Michael said, his voice calm yet full of conviction. "What you're planning is not in line with the teachings of Jesus. Jesus taught us to love our enemies, not to destroy what we don't understand." Sister Anna stood frozen, her confusion spilling over. "But they're distorting the truth. The Quran is a book full of lies. They defend violence." Michael shook his head. "Sister, we can't judge a religion based on the actions of a few people. If we do, we'd have to judge the entire history of Christianity, which has been full of violence and wars. Jesus taught us to love everyone, even those we think are wrong or different." Slowly, Michael approached and took the Quran from Sister Anna's hands with great respect. He opened the first page and began speaking softly, explaining the truth of Islam from his understanding. Islam, like Christianity, is a religion that teaches love and peace. The Quran is a book filled with high moral teachings. For example, there is a verse that teaches about peace, respecting others, and doing good. The congregation fell silent, listening attentively. Michael continued, "The Quran even teaches us to treat Christians well. In Surah Al-Baqarah, it says that those who believe in Allah and the last day should do good to those who do not harm us, including those who do not believe in Islam." Sister Anna felt as though the world around her was spinning. She had never heard such an explanation before. Michael was not speaking with anger or hatred, but with respect and love. She felt a truth in what he was saying. Michael continued, "The Quran teaches us to honor other religions, even mentioning Prophet Isa, Jesus, with great respect. Islam acknowledges Jesus as a great prophet who brought a message of peace. So why should we tear up this book, when it also contains truth that leads us to love and peace?" These words struck Sister Anna's heart. Deep inside, she felt shaken, but also inspired. The shame she had felt turned into a realization that her hatred toward Islam was not based on true knowledge. She began to reflect, how could she have so easily fallen into prejudice without seeking the truth? After several long seconds, Sister Anna finally nodded slowly. "Perhaps I was wrong. I judged too quickly." After the event at the church, when Sister Anna sincerely acknowledged her mistakes and opened herself to learning more about Islam, there was a noticeable shift among the church congregation. They began to reflect, question, and many felt that they had not fully understood the teachings they had believed in. The debates and discussions sparked by the event led many to reconsider their beliefs and open their hearts to new knowledge. Sister Anna, now wiser and humbler, started inviting some of the congregation members to learn together about Islam. She invited Mohammed Hassan to speak more about the teachings of Islam, and several members agreed to listen further. These informal meetings began with small conversations and understanding, but over time, more and more people began to feel drawn to the peace taught by Islam. One day, after a meeting attended by many of the congregation members, a significant change occurred. Michael, the man who had stopped Sister Anna from tearing the Koran, stood up with a confident expression. "Sister Anna, I feel like I have found the peace I've been searching for. I want to embrace Islam, not because I am being forced, but because I feel that Islam teaches true peace, just as Jesus taught." After Michael shared his feelings, several other congregation members expressed their doubts about the Christian faith they had held onto for so long. They began to wonder if they had truly understood the real truth. During a long discussion that night, more members revealed that they, too, were interested in embracing Islam. Sister Anna was stunned and silent. This was not something she had expected. She herself had begun to study Islam more deeply, and although her heart was open, she didn't anticipate that the congregation she had led would choose a different path. Mohammed Hassan, who was present at the meeting, stood and spoke with wisdom. Islam does not force anyone to change their religion. However, when someone feels that Islam is the path that leads to peace, truth, and love, that is a deeply respected personal choice. One by one, members of the congregation began to express their desire to embrace Islam. They felt that the teachings of Islam offered the peace they had been seeking, and that the hatred they once carried in their hearts had disappeared. Some of them began to recite the shahadah, fully confident that they had found the true path.